keep it live, live, live. We gotta do it live, live, live. We gotta keep it live.
Push everything you heard to the back and side. Turn your speakers up if you feel the vibe. We speaking out the box. Welcome to the tribe, and nothing is off limits cause the people need it.
We gotta keep it.
Come on, vibe with it.
We gotta do it.
Come on, vibe with it.
We gotta keep it.
Come on, vibe with it.
We gotta do it live.
And we're here. We're here.
Good morning.
They had to roast the turkey or nothing. Oh no, we didn't do that one.
We out the box with it. This is the last show of 2024.
My God.
Right here. The views and opinions expressed on the air are solely those of the speaker and do not represent those of WEFT Champaign Prairie Air Inc. Station Management, the Board of Directors, or WEFT Associates.
Actually, Billy coerced us to say everything.
He did. He did. He said, if you don't do it, I'm going to break your ankles. Not really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, last one of the year. So I guess we kind of got to, recap maybe, or just kind of prepare going into 25.
Like that 24 playlist.
Yeah. Your best artist, your most played artist, all that. What I want to do first, because Christmas is upon us, similar to our Easter show, we went through a significant time that we had during the Easter. So I want to do something similar to that. Best Christmas memory ever. The one. The one.
Man.
Right? Right? Wow. The one.
It's tough.
That is tough. D1?
It is.
Just.
I mean, I had a few. I'm not gonna say a few. I had a couple times I got some things that I felt like changed my life. One of them was some 12-inch Sony Explode subwoofers.
Them explodes.
It was red.
I remember them.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
Changed my life. Do you hear me?
Bass tubes was the thing. What kind of person?
When I got those,
Yeah.
it was over.
Yeah.
It was over. You couldn't tell me nothing. But I had to wait till the summer to put them in, though. I couldn't put them in right away.
Nah. That cold air would have.
Yeah, it would have. That did it. That was a big one. But we didn't necessarily have, or as kids, like we ain't really never had the Santa aspect of it type stuff. So it wasn't like we was doing milk and cookies and leaving it, and mom and them eating it, being like, we do that.
You like we flogged in my crib doing something.
Yeah, we didn't ever have that, but it was almost like a demeanor that we had in the crib. Matter of fact, I think me and you was talking about that. We used to get the real tree.
Yeah.
When we would get the real tree and the pine smell would come through the whole crib like that.
Yeah, that's fire.
That was like
That's
you
fire.
knew that was knew
It's
like
that season.
okay, you knew what time. I think that feeling and that like the smell and all of that that sometimes was more. Yeah, that was even more than whatever you was finna get. But you knew when that tree came in the house, like okay, it's go time now. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real.
Mine would be, I got two of them.
There you go.
Maybe it was this past Christmas, just making a new memory with the family. We woke up and I turned the record player on, man.
Let's go.
And we was man, we dropped the needle, brother.
Yes, sir.
Had some coffee and let Joshua open his gifts in the morning.
Yeah.
And we was at the second house, so that's the one with the higher ceiling. So we got a bigger tree. We was feeling like somebody. We put it in the window and everything. So that was a beautiful Christmas, man. But the second one was when I was a kid, and my mom had put some candy up under the tree in like a bag or whatever. And she was like, don't nobody eat this candy or y'all ain't getting y'all gifts. And of course, you know, I had to eat the candy, right? But with it being 3 kids in the household, it was like, all right, who ate it? Ain't nobody say nothing. Like, okay, if we don't find out who ate it, ain't nobody getting nothing. So my brother and sister was like, bro, come on, just tell the truth. Because they knew it was me. So I had to fess up, man, and be a man on that Christmas. So that's a big memory for me. Big time memory.
Wow. I think my biggest one was, and this not sounding cheesy, but it was the first Christmas me and Micah had together being married.
That's special.
Cause that's when I realized my life was going in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest memory. I had so many growing up because we had the fresh tree for a period of time, and then Chicago started charging to get rid of them. So then we went from the real tree to the artificial joint, and then that got weird because having to get it out the attic to bring it down.
That.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
Yeah. And, you know, but it was dope having a real tree with sweeping up the pine needles and everything like that. But,
You step on it.
man, listen, having to keep water in the bottom of it so it can stay green. Listen, bro. But yeah, me and Micah's first Christmas was dope because we had just bought our house. And we had a fireplace, you know what I'm saying? And it was the whole thing, warm eggnog, and
There you go.
you know, we had a record player. We played the old Nat King Cole and
Yes, sir.
you know the
Feels
old
good.
joints.
Feels
Yeah,
good.
when you hear the crackle of the needle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
Feels good.
It was really dope. So yeah, that would probably be my best one because that was one that I created.
Yeah.
You know, I had some where we got. Like, I remember that Christmas when we got the Sega Genesis. Listen, bro.
My God.
That was a game
That's
changer.
life changing. See,
That
some
that
gifts
was
are
a
life
game-
changing.
That was a game changer. But when me and Micah had the first one, it was because we had bought our first house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was me and her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, God is real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, we didn't get a real tree. We got a artificial one, but that joke was like 10
Hey.
feet tall. It's
Hey,
like,
yeah.
Had to get a step ladder, put the thing on.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
So it was like, hey, this feels good. This feels good.
That's right.
Hanging stockings over the fireplace and everything.
Yes,
I was
sir.
like, that make you feel some type of way. Like I could live a
I could do
Macy's
this.
catalog
Used to this.
life. Yeah. So that was the one. That was it. Yeah.
For me, I got two, I guess. As in my youth, I would say like the Christmas tree, the sound,
Yeah.
family coming because we were the host,
Yeah.
and so knowing the sound in the house and all the people come by, the giving of the gifts and all that stuff. Because I hear that sound when I go to my mom's house over the holidays. Like last year, she wasn't in town, so I stopped by to grab something because we were having Christmas at our house and it was quiet.
Quiet,
I was
yeah,
like,
it's
that's
different.
weird.
Yeah, it ain't right.
This day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, all of that and just getting up with the gifts is the Sega, the Nintendo, the first Nintendo. We got the Nintendo with the duck hunt, with the gun on there.
Cutting the gun,
Man.
little Robbie. Oh, come on, man.
With Super Mario Brothers.
Yes, sir.
Not even even Super, it was just Mario Brothers, right?
Yes, sir.
When he was just wrecking stuff, tearing bricks up. So that was cool. But then last year I would say was for me a dope Christmas because man I worked hard to finally get my wife a ring that I wanted to get.
Gotcha.
And so
Let's go.
like I had to build my stamina up,
That's
you
what's
know.
up.
And so I would be eyeballing other people's rings and stuff, and they're like, "Dang man, I gotta get that mug up, because I look at her and be like, man, I got to step that level up. And
Yeah.
so I took the initiative to put in that work to do that. And so seeing her expression, and seeing and listening to, I'll be on my Martin now, because like every time somebody looking at that ring, I'm like, yeah, you see that ring, like, but yeah, like
Talk with your left hand.
right.
Come here.
But now it's like it was a lot of effort put in that, and so last year was dope.
Most definitely. That ring one, that's big, because I know. Just the memory associated with that, because that's a celebration of love. That's why that memory is bro. That's a big boy. That's a big boy, especially because most people be like, hey, we good. You know how I feel it. You know.
I mean, we are.
Right, we good, but you know what? I want to show you how good we are. Yeah, so that, bro.
It was that. It was one of those. I like my ring and stuff, and I be thinking to myself,
I got you.
okay.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah, and then it's like a pat on the back when she come in and be like, yeah, somebody complimented me on my ring.
Yep.
Yeah,
Did they?
they should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Come here.
Exactly.
Come here. Come here.
I did that.
Yeah. For real.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're
yeah.
welcome.
And bro, like the beauty of, I think, our parents creating memories for us as children is unforgettable. But I think it sets the precedence for us to aspire to make our own.
That's real. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my kids know that, even my wife knows, like, when it comes to, let's just say, Christmas, there is going to be a certain level of reverence and preparation and you know what I'm saying, and all of that, you know, and it is less arguments. It's less. You know,
finna chill.
If we not seeing eye to eye, somebody finna make sure we see eye to eye. You know, we ain't asking who cooking. Everybody just get in the kitchen and start doing. It's just that type of situation. You know, when it comes to that. So, you know, making those memories, like doing that. You know, I think that it speaks to what our parents have put in us. You know, and what they established around that, because there was never no Santa Claus, nothing in our crib. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? I'm thankful to God to have a wife who can partner with me in that, who's like-minded, because we both can chill out. You know, we both can host together. We both can do all those things together, because a lot of times, I'm not saying in your situation, yours, but in some situations, you don't vibe like that. And so it's
one person.
So how you grew up,
right?
They may not have grown up like that, and so it's a problem. And so we like to, you know, I like to at some point have, not but I like to at least have, I like to at least have, you know, a Christmas gathering,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where we playing games, something. You know what I'm saying? It's Christmas time. Like I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
It's a celebration.
Scrooge. Like I want to do something. Like I want to Merry Christmas or some have decorations and take the initiative to have the decorations and stuff and be festive and have some tree of some sort. You know? And so growing up and having someone that at least, you know, may not be on the same level, but we can at least balance that out. I think that's good to have.
So I want to ask this, or we could talk about this. What new traditions have we started, and how much, I guess, no, just what new traditions have we started, and then why did we start them? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not this? Why did we choose one over the other?
I would say stockings over the fireplace.
So you started it or you stopped it?
I started it.
Okay.
Because we ain't never had a fireplace. So when my
Wow.
parents
That's a good
came,
reason.
right,
That's
when
also
my parents
fine.
first came to the crib, they was like, "You got stockings?"
We got a fireplace.
We got a fireplace. Like, yeah, no tape or nothing. We ain't push pin and nothing and messing up the drywall. We got the little.
I got you. I know where you at.
So it was
joint over a space heater.
Right. Gather around the element. But yeah, like, cause you know what I'm saying. Like that was something big, and I actually started grilling because we didn't do that. It was everything in the kitchen.
Right.
So I braved it, and it was like, hey, I'm gonna throw something on the grill. What you throwing on the grill? Everything.
All of it. Yeah.
How much money you spent? $500 on meat alone. What about side? We ain't having no side.
All
it's
of it.
carnivore. We're just eating the meats. He will stretch your meat.
Look at your neighbor. I'm not saying that. I'm sorry.
Praise Jesus on today. For him.
Hey, bro, it's the last one of the year. It's the last one of the year.
That was a highlight of 2024.
Said, look at somebody and tell him he's a meat stretcher.
He's a meat stretching God.
God was like,
that's fact.
Over
that's
the pulpit.
yeah, bro.
Over the pulpit.
Over the pulpit, bro. That's the only reason why I said it.
He will stretch your meat.
He was talking about like the fish and 5 loaves. Like he'll
that's
stretch
what he was talking about.
Hey, and it'd be a lady in the choir. She'd be she be happy about stretching.
Yeah, about stretching it.
Ever do a stretch?
Usain Bolt and everything.
Hey. That happened in 2024. That did happen in 2024.
We're not taking any of that in the next year.
None of that.
That happened in 2024. I want to say this before we play some music. One of the traditions that we started, it started on some we ain't doing no pagan, you know what I'm saying? Right. It started harsh. So we was on, we had lights, but we ain't doing no tree, we ain't doing none of that. Nothing. And so what we instead, what we did was this it's like a week of celebration of an individual. So instead of all the gifts being under the tree, because ain't no tree, right? All the gifts being under the tree, everybody get a week leading up to Christmas. That they pick a meal, they pick a movie we gonna watch, an activity that we gonna do. And then that week, whatever gifts they was gonna get, they just get them throughout the week, right? So we did that for like 2 years. So the last 2 years, we did that. Last year, we did it, and I think we was finna go somewhere. Yeah, we was going on a trip, and that was like the thing, right? So we show our kids like the tickets, like boarding pass, like, hey, open this, and they like, huh?
What is this?
Yeah, so we like go to YouTube and Google this place. This is where we going. They like, yes, but it was still like,
where's my gift?
Right?
Especially
but we had already went through all that, you know what I'm saying? Like December, early December, we was already on it. So I was like, do y'all want to open a gift? Like on Christmas Day? Like, do y'all want to come down and open something? They was like, well, yeah. So I'm like, y'all ain't like this? Yeah, we like that too.
Mm-hmm. We want that as well.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? We gonna do both. So now the tree I got is not at all that pine. It's not none of that. It ain't even bigger than this table, right?
Artificial.
And the top bent on it. I'm like, we gotta do better. If we're gonna do this, we gotta do better. But what we will do, even though we're still going through the weeks and stuff like that, but it's a couple of gifts that we gonna reserve just to put under the tree, just for like that. Yeah. Just for that, I'm going to bed and I don't know what I'm gonna get in the morning, and when I wake up, it's gonna be something there. So just to do that, we was like, we could do that. And it ain't so much the pagan rituals and all that, because if you really with God, ain't nothing going like it's not gonna destroy your house.
If that's the
Like,
case, you wouldn't drive a car
yeah.
because you in something and you using it and it's got somebody else's name on it.
Yeah.
They people get mad and almost lose their hold when they car go wrong.
Yeah, nah.
Come on,
It's not that.
Come on, if you know what the tree set, the tree symbolizes a place setter for where I'm gonna put these gifts. That's it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
So in that regard, we was like, we could do a little bit. Yeah, we could do a little, bro.
Man, you start bending down to the tree and sacrificing babies under the
Nah,
tree.
that's different.
That's something different, bro.
That's different.
That's different. Man.
That's different.
We gotta keep it live, live, live. We gotta do it live, live, live. We gotta keep it live.
We back though. We back. Just in case.
Just in case.
It was just in case. It was just in case.
My God.
Yeah.
So when somebody
So,
approaches you with something that is so ludicrous, how do you like position yourself to be the bigger person?
You know what? Let's paint this picture.
Paint it.
Come
Let's
on,
paint
brother.
this picture.
Little happy trees.
Right? So somebody bring you a bone.
Mm-hmm.
that
With meat
is-
still on it.
with meat still on there.
Right. Just
We gotta leave that in 2024. We must leave that in 2024.
Hey, he'll never live that down.
Never.
Brother.
So somebody bring you a bone, and it affects somebody that's close to you. Like they bring you a bone about one of your homies or some info that you're supposed to give to one of your homies, but you know they messy and you know they messy up to get. So as a born again believer filled with the
precious
Holy Ghost.
The preciousest.
You know what? This might be a good. How much grace do you give?
That's why I said segue.
What boundaries are there? At what point do you? How many cheeks do you turn?
My face only got 2.
Okay. If you do a cumulative of the body,
No, there's only 2. There's only 2. There's only 2. We talked about that in Bible study.
up top.
Right. I was like, how many cheeks she got? She was like 4.
On the back.
Madam. Like, we're not turning nose at all. Man. That's not even in the conversation.
Why did she do? But
She said 4, brother. I was like,
what you doing?
well, this is a kid-friendly place.
What chapter you in? Bathsheba.
Oh my God. Old school mother been the spirit of Jezebel. It's the spirit.
That was real.
That's for real, bro.
That was real, bro.
Stories back.
That was real.
I'm trying
Come
to tell
on.
Bible
Come on.
study, she said 4, bro.
Jesus.
She said 4. God bless her heart. She wasn't lying. She
did
But
say
on your
4.
face, there's only 2.
2. There we go. So,
How you
Again-
turn that cheek?
oh yeah, like what that. So, do you let them keep bringing you the like? When do you be like?
You
When
gotta
somebody
give 'em-
when somebody
you gotta
keep bringing
give-
you the info, like when do you position yourself? Like, hey,
with that with information.
yeah,
It's like I can't allow you to change my spirit about somebody I know who's proven.
yeah,
And I could go Bible on it, but I it's not a need to go Bible on that. If I know,
Yeah.
like for you, I known you 10 plus years.
Yeah.
If somebody come and telling me something that does not align with anything I've seen of you, I'm gonna hear you the first time.
yeah,
Just to see what kind of stupidity you really be on. And I'm gonna look at you. But if you keep coming to me with nonsense,
yeah,
I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody, and I'm not afraid to talk about it because ain't no merit to it. Somebody tried to accuse my dad of sexual indiscretions with a minor after he was dead.
that's crazy.
You say nothing while he's alive. He can't defend himself. You don't say nothing to his wife. You don't say nothing to nobody of importance.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden now, you feel this is I'ma live in my truth. What you been living in?
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden you think you got merit, but if you did have something, why is it important to say something now?
Right.
And I'm not even saying that he did or he didn't, but it's like now I don't
that?
understand your motive. Like there's no
Like what you want.
so I give you grace because it's like, okay,
Right.
let's say it might have happened. Let's say it might have happened. What you want?
Right.
And why you putting it on Facebook? Do you really want justice?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you was trying to seek justice, that's not how you get it. So if that's not how you get it, then you're not really seeking justice. So if you ain't seeking justice, what is you really talking about? And if it's what is you really talking about, are you really talking about something? And if you are talking about something, is it really real?
Right. That's
And that's how you give people grace to see what they own.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, ain't no third fooling.
Nah.
I only got two cheeks, bro. You know what I'm saying? You hit this one, okay.
You got me.
But
You
you
got
hit
me.
this one,
Yeah.
ain't no else. Well, you know, so it's
So I think Christians confuse.
when can you square up?
This is what we're trying to get to.
I want that. I was finna
Say
get.
it on
I was finna be.
I'm just saying, when can you
I was-
square up?
I was trying to go back biblical with it, but no. When can you square up? That's the $1 million question. Like when do you, hey, no, I'm not on that. Go on somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like chill. Otherwise it's, you know what I'm saying,
When people cross your boundaries, bro.
okay.
Like a lot of times people do stuff because we haven't set up boundaries.
So what are Christian boundaries?
So okay, now this is perfect where I was about to go.
There are
'Cause-
imaginary, well, I don't want to say imaginary, but there are, I'm trying to think of the word, just those boundaries.
Assumed, yeah.
I mean, it's a certain level that you're not gonna go to because you're Christian.
Right.
That's the assumption.
Right.
And then the Bible say, 70 times, 7 times you forgive.
Yeah, I
your
could
brother
forgive you,
and
but that don't mean that I'm gonna let you.
Okay. So
That be the problem. People they get away with high rate. I was just talking. Who was I just talking to about this? Was it Michael? It was Michael. It was definitely Michael. People think because you saved, that means that you a pushover. People think because you saved, well, you supposed to be Christian. The heck
Right.
does that mean?
right.
What does that mean? Do you know before I found Jesus, I was a human being?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
breathe just
Yeah.
like you breathe.
Yeah.
People say, I'm a man before anything. You're right, I am. So guess what? Just like I got the space to repent,
Yeah.
you got the space to repent. So if I hit you in your face, what type of repentance are we seeking? Because I'm going to be repenting because, Lord, I let rage take over.
Yeah.
You going to be repenting because I shouldn't have said that to that man. Lord, help
Yeah.
my... Now you got
It
double the
should be.
repentance.
It should be.
But see, that's where the boundaries start, bro.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain level I'm just not going to let you go past because it's going to make me see it.
Booyah. I think that's good because we, as a believer,
Jordan, no. Jordan's a tooth chipper.
as a believer, I think, you know what I'm saying?
No, sir.
You
No, sir.
you wanna portray the character of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like you wanna
Whip people out the temple.
he did, but you don't want the assumption is not this aggressive, forthcoming, like I'm on that with you
It's a
type of
response.
Jesus. It's like this: bring all your burdens to me. You know what? You mad? Bring your anger. Take your anger out on me. That's fine, and you go free. And then I'm gonna give your anger to Jesus. You just finna say something, bro? You should.
Oh, no, I was going to let you finish. Go ahead.
But it's like, bring it all to me, because we being Jesus. So smack me, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you gonna do. Bring it all here, and I'm just gonna go give it to Jesus, and then I hope you don't smack nobody else.
But who said that's in the job description?
But this is
My
So,
cross-
I'm just saying-
my cross ain't for the world.
yeah,
I think we got to... Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No,
yeah.
I think we kind of got to distinguish when we dealing with Christians and non-Christians.
Okay.
Because even when you mentioned the 70 times 7, he was talking about a brother,
Okay.
which means a fellow believer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think when you're dealing with a fellow believer, and if you bringing me garbage steadily, then the conversation is, if we both believers and we both believe this word, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
That's a whole different discussion, and it's not even a fight at that point. It's like, do you really understand who we are to be as Christians? Because that's not in the handbook of Christianity. We don't we don't sow discord. We're not accusers of the brethren. That's literally what Satan means.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, why are you claiming Jesus but doing the devil's work? So it's like, but if I'm dealing with an unbeliever, it's like that's different because they have no grounds of understanding for turn the other cheek or the Christian lifestyle. So then I feel like at a certain point I would withdraw myself and separate
From
myself
the
Situation.
from both of them.
from the unbeliever.
Okay.
Because it's like, even if I try and get you to understand the way I see things, you don't have a basis for that at all, because I'm looking through the eyes of faith. You're looking through the eyes of the flesh. I'm walking in the spirit, you walking in the flesh. So it's like, we're never going to see eye to eye on this. So it's like, let me just remove myself rather than come out of my spirit walk into your flesh walk, and now we fighting, and now I've misrepresented Christ because I've jumped over into what you in rather than you coming over into what I'm.
So is the boundary? So do you set the boundary harder for a non-believer than you would for a believer?
You gotta give more grace.
Which one has more grace? Does the believer have more grace with you, or does the non-believer have more grace with you?
It depends on what we define as grace.
That fuse, that hard stop is like, all right, I'm gonna give you 2 times. I'm gonna get an unbeliever 2 times. The believer get 1 time because you should know better. Or is it vice versa? Like, I ain't trying to deal with not so much the foolishness, but since I'm not gonna be able to reason with an unbeliever, you only get that 1 time, and then we got a curve.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of even depends on the person, because there are even unbelievers who have softer hearts. And there are unbelievers that are just like completely ignorant. And it's like, okay, but I already see from the way okay, bro,
this ain't gonna be able to.
So I think it's kind of depends on the person, because sometimes a person is in that place where they can be taught. They're not a believer yet, but they have a soft enough heart. Just like we had a situation at work last night, and it wasn't me directly, but me being there, I could see that the guy involved, he's not a believer, but he has a soft enough heart where I can talk to him and be like, bro, this. And he understood, and there was reconciliation, even though he wasn't a believer yet. So it just it kind of depends on the situation too, and the person.
Can I say something?
Go.
Yeah,
Please do.
See, this is why I keep y'all around, because people make me want to punch him in the mouth. Accuse my daddy or something while he dead. The grace, all of that is established within the boundaries, and your boundaries are predetermined by your knowledge base.
Okay.
So the more Bible you know, the more boundaries you're allowed to set up in your life regarding certain things.
I got you.
This is why what Pastor Jordan was saying is so important. Like, if I know how to deal with an unbeliever, then I know how to have that boundaries. They get a little bit more
accurately set the boundary.
Exactly. Okay. If I'm in my word, I could see you coming from a mile away.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So I allow the situation, the breath, to let God handle it. But if I see you not listening to God, then what do I need to do?
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So those boundaries are more assimilated or learned through your walk. And so the time where you square up and like, hey, you know what? it's when that person has crossed that boundary. Like, I'm not going to literally punch somebody in the face. I'm saying that for, comedic purposes and levity, but it's when you cross my boundaries that there's a point of no return for me. So if I know my walk with Christ and I know what things trigger me, I stay away from those things. So I don't go certain places in Chicago.
There you go.
I don't do certain things while I'm in my house. I don't engage in certain activities because those things are a slippery slope for me. So if I see you starting to talk about certain content with me or in a certain tone with me that I know I don't tolerate from certain people, then I'm going to remove myself.
There you go.
I'm not going to remove you. I'm going to remove myself because I don't want to tempt myself with that. The Bible says you're not supposed to tempt God. So I know what God brought me from. So I'm not finna go dabbling in to see if he really healed me.
God,
from.
did you
no,
really
I done
do that?
turned my back from it. And I'm not going back to it. So I know what he did and I know what he delivered me from. So if I know if I hate the color green and I hear you talking from a distance about all shades and manner of green, I'm going to go over there and deal with the people that's dealing with yellow.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I stay in that green conversation, it's going to go there. And so as Christians, I don't think that we set enough boundaries to protect our salvation.
That's a bar.
Because we don't value our salvation as we should. I think that we think that we get it and, it's given. Freely you give, freely you receive. I could get this, I could pick it up. No, do you understand what went into you getting this? Do you understand the plan that went behind it? So you got to approach it with more sincerity. Your salvation is just as precious as your loyalty. We give our loyalty to too many people.
That's another thing.
Yeah, go ahead. You got the finger up.
It's continued education. And
That's
so
a great way to say that.
as long as you continue
For who?
For the Christian.
Okay.
And so I think we lack in continuing our education. So we get it. We got an understanding of it, and then we try to live off of that. And then you find yourself in weak spots because you're not continuously educating yourself and surrounding yourself with individuals that will challenge you, push you to think, to think deeper, to make wiser decisions. Jesus could only do what he could do because he was who he was. Right. So we have to continue our we got a lot of education to go through to try to even get to his level.
Absolutely.
And so even trying to master even the disciples level, and you know how they was, how they struggled. And so one of the things that going in the Old Testament, you'll look at Joseph's situation pop up. What'd he do? He got run. And so you got to know when it's time, and only that closeness and that personal time with God will let you know, I got to get up out of here. And so there's been times where it's like, I got tied with a good friend of mine. We were somewhere, and I know I shouldn't have been there. And he just gave me this look, and he was like, man, we good? And I was like, nah. We got to go. And it was just something in my gut. It just felt, and ain't nothing happened.
Right.
But it just felt like, man, this probably ain't a smart situation right now to be in. And, it's moments like that where like in your spirit, like this person, like I could see it in their face, hear it in their tone, their delivery. I got to go.
So it seemed like it's more of a, my boundary that I set, it ain't to keep you out. Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't to set this boundary.
Cauterize us.
Yeah. That would happen in 2024 also. This is a real thing. But it's really so that I keep my salvation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The boundary is really set around my salvation.
Because that's the most precious thing that I have.
Right. So it's like if that activity continues, then I can end up in a situation that's going to make my salvation questionable.
Because my salvation is... Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
I was going to say my salvation is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And to speak to what Matt was saying, a lot of Christians and, non-Christians alike, we grow into this vanity of thinking that we know God.
Yeah.
And that's where we the continued education comes into play, because we think, because we've experienced God, and we have a working knowledge of the Bible. We know.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's growing. It's evolving.
Right.
What's that? Gnosko. I know you, but there's more to know of you. And so the vanity that we possess that pushes us into getting comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm never gonna be in a place where I think I've made it.
There you go.
I'm gonna keep striving every day to make sure I'm doing. Yeah, of course, we're gonna talk crazy just because it makes for life to be better. Laughter is like medicine, you know. But I'm still, for lack of a better word, killing myself to make it in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm turning myself away from things that another man will probably be like, oh yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because I cherish this so much.
There you go.
That's part of my best memory in Christmas, because I knew my life was on the right path.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's an awareness, like, hey, I'm gonna keep this no matter. You gonna have to pry this from my cold death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like? This, I love this so much. You know, because it keeps me in line with him, and everything I get from him is better than anything I could ever got on my own.
Yeah, I think you can simply, think about salvation as rescue.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you drowning and the lifeguard come get you out the water, the first thing you do is not jump right back in the water you was drowning in. So it's like, if you used to be a hothead and, ready to fight, and the type of situations and places where it brings that out of you, you just protect yourself from jumping back in the water, man, because I can easily drown again because I'm still a human being. So like you said, man, it's about having that humility to know, yes, I'm saved, but that sin nature, there's residue there.
Right.
And I have to, protect myself from myself.
Yeah.
Still scraping.
Real talk.
Right.
Real talk.
And I think if possible, you really want to resolve like every avenue of that. And for me, sometimes I don't even like doing it, but sometimes I just go back like, hey, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Working in the shop, man, Muzz coming there wilding.
Yeah.
I'm talking about wilding.
Yeah.
So, quote unquote, everybody's welcome. You know what I'm saying? The doors stay
Y'all
open.
in prime location too.
The doors stay open. So anybody, anybody can come in, right? But
everybody can't stay.
Bro, when somebody come in and be like, I saw Muhammad Ali when he was fighting for the Olympics. He was training in Chicago, and Larry Holmes was there, and the dude walk out with a tissue stuck on the bottom of his shoes. Like, I don't think you couldn't have been there, bro. You couldn't have been there. You were there with that tissue on you. It was you.
Presence.
And this same person, and I'm gonna say this, we gotta play some songs. The same person sits down, and Athel, who is of Asian descent, was cutting a black guy of African descent. This same person say, I never seen a Chinaman cutting sheep's wool.
Yo, yeah, you gotta
It's
go.
like, you know what, bro? Like, hey,
gotta go.
when dude come back, like, he can't come with you no more. Like, you can't bring dude. Like,
Man said to China.
your barber is of Asian descent. Like, that's
You supposed to have
highly
a relationship with
that's
your
what are
barber,
you
bro.
doing, bro? Like, you just don't. He can't come with him no more. Like, because if he do, the Chinaman finna be on that. Which, you know what I'm saying? We don't want none of that. We don't want none of those
They
problems.
don't got friends.
We gotta keep it live. We gotta do it live. We gotta keep it live.
And we're back, guys.
I think they missed the opportunity with your boy.
We right back.
Yeah.
We're right.
They most definitely did.
where we
Yeah,
at.
they most definitely did. Like, you suckers.
With it being the holiday season, the biggest movies always come out during the holidays. We were talking about briefly Gladiator 2,
Briefly.
which I did not see. Pastors
I won't talk too much.
Jackson and Simmons have seen it. they said it could be better.
Could be.
That's that. I haven't seen it, so another movie that I have not seen but is getting quite a bit of what's the word? Buzz, notoriety is Wicked, which is the tale of the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz. There's much pushback, especially within the Christian community, that it's devil worship, it's witchcraft, it's spells. Should we or should we not be partaking? First thing I asked, just being on some wild stuff, why the witch got to be black? And then when she black, why y'all got to paint her green type stuff? But that's neither.
Yeah, she did have like braid locks in there.
She did.
She wasn't bald?
No, she was.
Nah.
Oh, what's her name?
Arivo.
Right, in curriculum. Andrew Regina. I don't know her name, but she be singing. I know that.
Yes,
she sang.
she do.
She sang.
She wasn't bald.
I thought she.
I know. I got you. I know where you at.
I think she had a glue on thing.
I know it just. I know where you at.
Just let it be.
However,
That joint be razor sharp though, brother.
it's razor sharp. I've seen it. So, question number one:
Question.
should we partake? And that's a very surface.
I feel like we had this conversation.
I mean, yeah.
about movies because
Yeah.
there's been a lot of movies out.
How influential is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
I feel like
What's to it?
I feel like my argument is I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz,
right, right?
and so it never was an
the Wizard
issue.
of Oz or the Wiz?
Both.
Well, both, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my man.
And the Wiz to me was scarier. I said like
was.
that witch. She was
That witch,
scary.
she was creepy.
She was
Yeah.
something
And
else.
then flying monkeys.
Yeah,
and
yeah, that was that
was
stuff
creepy.
that was different. That stuff is scary to me. Like the Wizard of Oz wasn't scary.
That was like-
that was next level.
Yeah.
The ones coming off the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like changing colors. Nah, it's too
In the
much.
subway, that was
It's
creepy.
too much.
Go ahead, bro.
But anyway, but yeah, we've been seeing like the Wizard of Oz all of our life.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why now is it an issue now
With this.
With this,
Yeah.
Is it because it's 2024 and CGI and how they go a little bit more in depth with maybe some of the seances, I guess that she's reading a book. I don't know, something. I haven't seen it yet.
Right, right.
But that's just something that I heard. But I also heard that it wasn't like she said something out of a book, and it wasn't bad from Christians too. So I don't know which one to believe, but I haven't seen the play or the movie, so I don't even really know.
Like, without seeing it, is it something that you like, yeah, I'll go see that? Or right away it's like,
I'm gonna
I
go
ain't
see
going.
it. Like we still plan to see it. We ain't had no sitter yet. And so
Got you.
That's been only the setback for us with that and Gladiator.
Got
But at the end of the day, like I plan to go see it. And,
I got you.
And go from there.
Some of that stuff you'll be like, I ain't finna mess with it. And in a way, I was on there. I'm like, you gotta be like,
Right.
But
Well, I look at
Wake up.
certain things.
Wake up.
It goes back to the boundaries you have in your salvation.
okay,
Because certain things don't bother me. Like when the church I grew up in, let's say
Right.
this church I grew up in, the pastor, bishop, overseer, he preached over pulpit. You shouldn't be in the movies because it puts something in your head and tuning up and everything, huh? And it's like, so people was like, oh, we don't go to the movies. But then we went with his family to a family reunion and we went to go see the first Batman. It's like,
how that makes sense?
really?
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Really? 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 So it's good when you're getting money, but it's bad when, I mean, never mind. So, but it's like how you guard your salvation and your boundaries.
Okay, yeah.
I've never been one to get tripped up over movies. Like when we was talking about
Deliverance.
the deliverance,
Yeah.
like that don't.
Yeah.
Even when the Ring came out and the little demon crawled out the teeth, that don't bother. I could go to sleep with that on.
Yeah.
And somebody else, but turn that off. You know that'll get in your ears and mess with your nightmare. No. No, my dreams is what they gonna be no matter what. I'm gonna snore as loud as it ain't gonna bother nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I'm saying? It don't.
Yeah.
It just don't. However, if that's an issue for you,
Right.
then stay away from it.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a lady that came to the church was like, Pastor, you watch that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't bother me.
Right.
But if it bother you,
Don't
don't
do it.
you mess with it.
Yeah.
Because that means you got some stuff in your life
Yeah.
that you still recovering. You still scraping that residue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't get all of that. I wasn't afraid of demonic possessions because I done seen demons cast out.
Right.
I ain't never been possessed by no demon.
Yeah.
I remember what it felt like when the sin came out. That
Yeah.
don't scare me.
Yeah.
Because I know, you know what I'm saying? I know the power that I have. So
sure.
I'm not gonna I'm not living on the brink or the edge
Yeah.
wherein
That's gonna be the thing.
I could get taken back over. No,
Yeah.
I'm so far removed. The devil gotta come way over
Yeah.
here to come get me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go watch whatever. That's entertainment. Like what I'm gonna do? Just sit here and be bored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just read every book? You know, every book they're gonna turn into a movie just about. So
Yeah.
let me see how they interpret it. Oh, this wasn't good as the book. So well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
man,
I think the problem a lot of people were having was it's portrayed as a kids movie, and so it's like the parenting aspect of protecting
Right.
your children, because
Right.
it's one thing for you to be able to endure it or look at it and not be affected by it, but like for instance, my son at his age, he don't understand what I understand, and
Right.
so it's not something I would take him to see. And
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not gonna see it just because I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not my type of movie. So, but I don't see a problem. Like, I'm with you. I'm like, I mean, if it don't affect you, then go
Right.
enjoy it. It's entertainment. But I think a lot of the problem we fall into is like, because something affects us, we don't want nobody doing it,
Yeah.
and we make
Yeah.
our own thing
Yeah.
Christian law. But it's
Right.
like,
It's
no,
not.
bro.
So
It's,
I'm gonna throw something in there.
Go for it.
go.
I'm gonna throw
Don't
something
throw
in
it.
there.
Don't throw it.
throw a
Because if
wrench
it don't
in there.
affect you,
Don't throw it.
so if I watch something that don't affect me,
here we go.
When you say effect, I feel like you putting some. You put.
if
you putting
it's-
some.
Affect or
if it
infect.
stretches something,
Right.
then
If
if it's stretching,
right, if it's stretching,
Hey, but whoa,
stretches-
whoa,
but that's what, hold on, we pause it. But at the same time, like some people will say that though.
Right.
Some people will use that.
But
So
see,
we got
but
we
that's the
I just want to throw
problem.
that
Yeah,
out there because
definitely
I want us to
affected
be
at that
careful
point.
what,
Alright, so-
what we say. Where I'm like, oh, it don't affect me. I can watch this. I can watch
So-
these type of flicks. They don't get
You
me
mean
how they get everybody
flicks
else.
is what you're referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
the
yeah.
blue
Flicks.
movies.
Yeah.
That butt.
The BT-32.
Right,
There
right,
you go.
right,
Mhm,
right,
mhm.
right, right.
Adults only.
Butt talk.
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. So I think it's gonna sound weak. It's the weakest argument ever, but that's different.
it is 1,000%.
I get it.
It's
I get it. And so, but I'm
It's-
saying someone on the outside. So how do we?
What's the boundary on
How
that?
do we share that to where if it don't bother you, I get where you guys are
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah.
But I think that's also
That's
what
an
we said
argument
with
somebody
our
would have,
with
yeah.
where you
Yeah.
are as far as in your seasoning, where
Mm-hmm.
I can hear where you coming from.
Right.
But like someone else who's like they fresh, they're like
I mean, I
Yeah.
would ask the same question of both. You know, whoever wants to watch Wicked and whoever wants to watch
Wicked.com.
adult. Yeah, that's a
Wicked.com,
we
right.
brought that in there.
.com,
That's a perfect.
Yeah.
would-
That's the perfect way to say it. Yeah.
The question is gonna be like, but why?
Right.
You know, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it just entertainment? You know, but entertainment, and this is a heavy lift. Entertainment at the expense of sin.
Right.
That's Hollywood.
That
That's
is true.
the movie industry.
Yeah.
Like I'm more, I will go see something like The Matrix or something like I'll go see Deadpool and Wolverine
There you go.
before, or I would have less reservations about Deadpool and Wolverine than I would about Wicked.
Understood.
And knowing 100% what Deadpool, well, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine,
Right.
but when it comes to Wicked, I'm on some, why she black? You know what I'm saying?
True.
When on Deadpool, they did some heinous
some
acts
heinous things on there.
on that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but why though? And then on the
flicks.
instance of the flicks, to me that's a step farther, because now I know I'm never gonna have adamantium claws that
That's
come
not
out
a
my
thing.
wrist
That is all fantasy.
and then stab a guy in his genitalia with it. I'm never gonna be able to do that. However, in adult film situations,
Very possible.
that's very possible that
Exactly.
I could find myself in them situations
And
and,
that-
seek them out.
Now,
You know what
that's
I'm
where
saying?
that's where I was
So-
going. That's exactly what I was going.
Even
say.
in the case of Wicked, I'm never gonna be no witch.
Never.
Like that's never going. I'm never. Witches are real. Let's say that though.
yeah,
That is a real thing. Sorcery is witchcraft is all of that stuff is real things. For me, I'm never. That movie is not going to make me pursue witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
However, if I'm watching something sexual in nature, it will make me
pursue that.
yes,
Yep.
yes, and you can get that. Like that's more
It's-
that's more
attainable.
accessible. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more attainable than
That's
being a
good.
witch.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Like the witchcraft and all that other stuff. Yes, it's real, but that's a spiritual matter. And for me, and for others, those type of spiritual things, I'm above. I know
Yeah.
where I'm at.
I ain't
with
on
that.
it. Yeah.
When it comes to sexual immorality, that is very easily
Yeah.
achievable.
Yeah.
Whether it be with your wife, a
Right.
dip,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and the way the world going, you don't have to go far to engage in sexual
Yeah.
immorality
Yeah.
because they want it just as bad
Yeah.
because it's so readily accessible.
Right.
So people, I say like this, people that have an issue with like magic movies because magic ain't real, you know, but witchcraft and all that, that's because they struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? People have an issue with the pornography is because they struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? So even though it's easily accessible, people could still have struggles with it. I don't watch it because I don't need it. My wife is all the pornography I need. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the different. Yeah, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? And you have to grow into that. And so people to say, "Oh, well, it just don't." You know, it entertains you because it's meant to drive your flesh crazy.
Right.
There you go.
That's what it's for.
The watching Wicked don't make my flesh be like, "Ooh, I want to do some witchcraft."
Yeah.
Not one
Let me
time.
get to that.
Does Deadpool and Wolverine make me want to go throw on a red suit and get
Yeah.
2 twin Desert Eagles?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I kind of wish I could.
Yeah, I want 2 twin Desert Eagles. Since I couldn't get 2 twin Desert Eagles, I got 2 10 millimeters. But I'm not. That doesn't make my skin go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't do
It
that.
make it do
And
what now?
and
What now?
people just.
It's-
People have to be more honest with themselves instead of trying
Yeah.
to make excuses and
Yeah.
trying to make Jesus comfortable.
Yep.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
about
They keep trying. Hey, this is lazy boy Jesus. No, it's not.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is not recliner Jesus.
Right.
He wants you to stand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a great point that you brought that up because people use
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they think that there's a intersectionality of God's principle. No, it's the black, the white, and the part that you use to learn what the white meant in the black and what the black meant in the white. There's no gray.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. And I'm gonna stop talking because you done made my yeah. Yep. Number 2.
And I mean, if you looking for an excuse to sin, why even be Christian? You don't have to be. I mean, like, you don't.
But
Bro,
I think a lot of people go to church with that mentality though.
Yeah.
To figure out what they can and what they can't do.
Yeah.
And they want to be
Yeah.
encouraged in the things
Yeah.
that they doing and get told that it's okay and they gonna get
Yeah.
more money for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. And I've always, I'm always flipping it back on those that are in leadership positions or always speaking.
Right.
Did that come from up top?
I
The
just
idea, the concept
I'm
of
not
do
gonna
these
get mine.
things,
I'm not gonna get
do
mine.
these things, don't drink, don't curse, don't smoke. You're preaching all that, or don't dance, don't watch these movies. If you're preaching that, then people are thinking, if I don't do these things, then I'm good. I don't need to continue my education. I'll just come here and listen to what you tell me not to do. I don't do it. Or I'm coming to church to get my blessing. You know, and so rather than are their minds the way they are because from up top.
Yeah. I mean, you could look at scripture that was happening way back then.
That's it.
Like Jesus was saying, y'all putting these burdens on the people that y'all don't need. Y'all going to see Batman.
Right.
Yeah, Paul telling them, you telling the people, touch not, taste not, handle not, and y'all mixing the law and grace. It's like, this is not that. This is a completely different lifestyle wherein you trust in the Holy Spirit to lead you and guide you and be your teacher who's going to guide you into all truth. But that takes a discipline and an awareness and obedience.
I think also it takes changing people's mindset. And that's hard because if you've been doing this for 15, 20 years,
Yes, sir.
and your uncle was your leader, and he poured all this in you, and you've been carrying this on, and now someone's coming in and they're telling you, nah, that ain't it. Nah, that ain't right.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
How am I going to trust what you got to say when I know my uncle who cared about me, who loved me, who prayed over me, who baptized, all these things?
Yeah.
They ain't know what they was talking about. Nah, they didn't.
I mean, I think it's a. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. But I think it's a matter of maturity that every believer got to come to.
True. That's good. Bro.
My grandfather, my mom's dad, he was famous. Now I don't want to say famous.
Yeah,
but
let's say famous.
if you hung around him, he was going to drop jewels, and I'm gonna put that very loosely in air quotes, right?
Yeah.
He was gonna give you one of these. I had this dream, and I saw God do this, and then He did this and did that. But it'll be like if you say that to a babe in Christ, it's gonna be like, how you? So you was in heaven? When? Like,
How you come back?
how you get back?
Hey, y'all chill on them YouTube videos too. Everybody done went and seen hell and heaven, bro.
I
Let's knock it off.
I was scooping
knock
up
it
the
off.
glory of God in my hands type stuff. Like,
Right.
it's like, I got you, and that's dope.
Right.
And the revelation, now, in all that was a heavy revelation, right?
True.
But you got to be around him long enough. You got to hear
understand.
that. You got to let him tell you the revelation over, and you be like, "Booyah! This what Granddad was on." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is. We got to leave that. We're leaving that in 24, okay? But it's like this what he was on, right? So you finally get to the revelation.
Yeah.
But while I'm a kid, Granddad is a genius in the word.
Right.
He can
Ain't
quote,
nobody like him.
he can quote John 1 like without looking, like the whole thing. In the beginning wasn't. He's like, now he'd tell it to you like it is. The grail of scripture is the Gospel of John chapter 1. So as a kid, I'm like, yo, this guy right here, listen to me.
He is the guy.
He is the guy. There's not another guy.
Don't need
It's
to look
him.
for another.
Nope, it's him. But as I matured though, it was like Granddad was on something, and it made me study the word. But at a certain point, I had to find what Granddad was talking about in my Bible and be like, "This okay? So the word was made flesh. This is what this is the revelation Granddad was talking about. The word becoming flesh. Okay, now I got that. If you don't do that, then you just gonna think Granddad could go to heaven and come back when he wanted to, because that's how he make it sound.
Elon Musk can't even do that.
No, that's you basically said what I was going to say. It's just these individuals that come into our life, they
Yeah.
are stepping stools.
Yeah.
And you advance. They help you advance
Right.
to the next level.
Right.
And so, yeah, you said everything that
I think a lot of times, like, there are these protective measures that are taken until we mature.
Yeah.
But when we refuse to mature, it's like we still sitting
stay.
in that car seat.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you an adult now. It's like you need to learn how to sit there,
Yeah.
put your seatbelt on, and, learn how to ride. But it's like these protective measures are good until the person decides that they're not going to go any further than that.
Yeah.
And then they've been in this 5-10 years and they're
Yeah.
still, leaning on these things that they've been taught that's not even like scripturally based. It's
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
anything. You can't even point to it in the word,
Right.
but you're
Right.
repeating it.
Right.
You're arguing it.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
trying to,
Definitively.
it's
Yeah.
like, bro, you
It
have
ain't in
no
there.
scripture for that.
Yeah.
And it's like it's okay to try and, because one of the jobs as a pastor or a minister or a teacher of the word is to try and protect the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like you want them to grow up and you want them
Yes.
to mature and at some point be able to get into the word for themselves and understand the truth of God's word.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And if that don't happen, then you can't go to the movies. Then you can't.
Right.
It's all this stuff that you can't do because, in a way, we haven't matured beyond
Right.
whatever that thing is yet. I think we need to play a little bit more music. Then it's gonna be
Hold
the
on,
last
I
segment,
want to
so we
say
get
this
up out here.
before we go to the music. So real quick, remember we was at the shop and the gentleman came in and his dad was talking to him about God and
Yeah.
he was smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I told him he bummed the vape off of somebody, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, bro, you ain't supposed to be smoking,
Yeah.
because your body a temple." And then he went into this long tirade on how
Yeah.
when he was like, "Well, you think the soldiers going to hell?" I'm like, "Bro, what?" However,
There's no murder, right? Yeah.
it's like, but it goes to it begs to be said that so many different interpretations have ruined godly perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's good.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not because this thing isn't wrong or this thing is right. It's more so, how can God use you if you want to kill yourself?
Yeah.
And most people miss that.
Yeah.
Like, if the purpose of the Holy Ghost is to be in you, the purpose of the Holy Spirit is to be in you, then why would you want to do anything that will mess up that relationship?
Yeah.
Right.
That's godly perspective.
Yeah.
And you eat what you want to eat, but how effective would the Holy Ghost be if you can't
Yeah.
walk 5 feet without taking a breath?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gasping for air.
Yeah.
Hey, you think God want to move around like that? He used to be in everywhere at the same time. You think he want to move around like that? Do you think? Y'all
This
silly.
thing need a new motor.
You know what? Come on home. You know what? You good. I see you was on your way. Come on back.
Godly perspective, like you gotta. I've noticed that.
help him.
Right.
There you go.
I'm giving.
He don't need no help.
levity because
Yeah.
I know a lot of times when people say I say stuff, it cut hard. So I'm trying to, it soften the blade. But right. So when you're looking at it from godly perspective,
Yeah.
the temple itself has to be treated in such a manner where
Yeah.
God still runs the temple. So the things I take in visually, it's not affecting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The things that I
The
eat,
temple.
it's not affecting. When I get to the point where God can't move in me like He's supposed
Yeah.
to, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
That's not taught in that
There you
way.
go. There
That
you
makes
go.
sense.
And that's what that's all I'm saying. If
Yeah.
when you're teaching in that way, then it's like, I get
Right.
it. What's being taught is don't do this and you're good.
And so I think that's I don't want to say the immature part. I think that's the protective part until we get the
To
other
the
side.
adult. Yeah. Because I tell my kids don't do it
Yeah.
And now they're at a place where they ask the questions. Now I can't be old school because old school is like because I told you
Shut
so.
up. Yeah. Yeah.
But it ain't that no more. And especially and I tell this to clients, I tell this to myself as much as I can. You can't do that or can't parent that way in this day and age because information is accessible. And so if I tell you, don't worry about it, mind your business, you're gonna go get on Google and figure it out, or go find out from someone else.
Yeah,
And so I think in the church, the other thing is that too. People are going and they're figuring it out from other sources, other ideas,
good,
other. They're listening to.
Yeah.
I had to cut off listening to so many different people. I know a lot of people listen to
bro.
outside pastors
Bro.
and whatnot.
So how about you in our Bible study from Wednesday? Come on with that.
Yeah. Now you got
Come
to
on.
cut that off because you got to have your people. I got my people.
Yeah.
And that's my people.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Twos and fews.
Yeah. And it ain't nothing against you. And it's not like if I'm somewhere and someone goes up and they start teaching, I'm going to get up
Right,
and walk out.
yeah.
I ain't going to be disrespectful because I've learned I can pull something from everybody. Even if it's a boring teacher, I can pull something.
Yes,
sir.
But at the end of the day, I know who my go-tos are.
Right.
You know, and it's very limited, you know,
Straight
to a lot to,
It should be.
You know, but
It should be. It shouldn't. We shouldn't just have. We shouldn't just have a desire for information.
That's
You
good.
know what I'm saying?
That's good.
The phone make you just want the
Random information.
Yeah,
that has
yeah.
no-
And so it should be. We should be able to mature to a place where it's like we got to set boundaries with the information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay, this I can take in, this I can't.
Yeah. Does it produce fruit?
What's really going on with the information that I'm taking and people that I hang with or don't hang with or listen to. It ain't, we could be cool, but what does our time
That's
do?
good. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Me personally, every stage of my life had like its own set of friends with it.
Yes,
know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It might be, man,
Let him cook.
it might
cooking,
be. I'm talking about. You know what? My blood relatives, the ones who seen the whole thing. But it's almost like every group, it's a different thing
Yeah.
that we supposed to accomplish
Yeah.
within that group, and then there's another group, and then there's another group.
yeah.
And sometimes I try to mix the groups. Like, yeah, he cool, and
It
then
don't fit.
You bring
It
dude
don't
over here, they
fit.
like, man, who is dude?
Yeah.
he
It
with
don't
Ray.
fit.
Ray brought dude.
Oh,
Ray,
cornball. That's your man.
Ray,
bro.
yeah, Ray brought dude over here.
Who
Get the-
brought this?
Ray did, and it's like, okay, so the time that I'm spending with this, the information that I'm getting over here, that's yeah.
He was you.
Who's your man? That information is supposed to produce something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And if it don't, what we doing?
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? The time that we spending right now is time we spending together. But when we leave here, this finna go to YouTube. It's finna go to this. This content is finna go places that we created right here, right now.
Yeah.
And you gotta be able to do that with the information you take in.
Absolutely.
So I learned that lesson, like new circles for new levels,
Yeah.
right? And what I had to learn very quickly, because I was like, when my circle of friends I grew up with, when I had to snatch myself from it, because God said, if you don't,
Go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? I had to learn that I had to go through and assess each relationship. Like, is the value of your input worth our time?
Yeah.
And if what you bring to the table ain't worth the time,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because everybody got information. It's whether or not it's good information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what you was hitting on. And I'm like, yeah, because I went through that. Like, if what you add to my life
Oh yeah.
ain't worth the time,
Yeah.
why you in my life?
Yeah.
Because now I'm spending time
We
waiting
finna-
for you to add something,
Yeah.
and I got almost as many years behind me as I got in front of me.
Right.
So I can't waste the time.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't get that. Like, are you assessing the people that's in your circle?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I literally had to cut somebody off the other day. Like, bro, you not adding nothing to this. I'm bringing more friendship
yes.
and more information
Yeah.
and more love than you bringing in.
Right.
You treating it transactional.
It don't
So
work.
guess what, bro?
That don't work.
We done.
It can't work. It can't.
And so the your information can't be something I already know.
Yeah.
Cause what
Yeah.
you bringing to the table.
What we doing? What are we doing?
All friendships should consist of someone pouring into you and pulling out of you.
Yeah.
And every single encounter that we have, so like today, our encounter, we should be pouring.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm getting the keys. I'm fully rested. I'm ready to go, bro.
I'll try.
Good.
It should be something
Make your
positive.
No.
There
Words.
you go.
Positive words.
There
just
you
like
go.
pouring into you.
Yeah.
And then pulling out of you.
Absolutely.
So when I leave,
Right.
I've given you something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I may have pulled something that I seen in you
Yeah.
that I may need
saw
to pull
that,
it
yeah.
out of you
Yeah.
to either help you and say, hey man, I see something about you, man. Man, you fresh. I like that polo. Something
Yeah.
about
Right.
you. Or I see something like, man, hey bro, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm pulling. Let me
Yeah.
pull that out.
Yeah.
Interaction
Yeah.
versus transaction.
And when you don't have that, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's a waste of fruit, like you said. It's got to be fruitful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
them GMO fruits with no seed.
So when people come get their haircut by me, it's like
an experience.
It's like two types of people. It's ones who I see it all the time. So like I see a need or a demeanor or I can read a person.
Mm-hmm.
But then the way I talk to them, the way they answer determines what our interaction is really gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even if I ask them something deep and they give me something real whack, I'm like, yeah, we just can't. In my mind, we just not talking about that no more. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for that.
Yeah.
But then it's certain clients that the haircut is like the other thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's the byproduct.
Yeah, the fact that I'm getting my haircut is just the bonus of the time spent in the chair.
That's good.
I ain't on nothing or on prideful or none of that.
Come on, talk about it.
But I have some people that I know. I could be like, bro, I'm not even gonna cut your hair today. Let's just go over here and talk.
Yeah.
Be here at this time
Yeah.
on this day. Come over here. We just gonna talk. I ain't even gonna cut your hair.
Yeah.
They would show up
That's real.
just so that we could talk like that.
That's real.
Because the exchange of information is like that. So it's like those individuals is not transactional.
It's
So it ain't it ain't just I charge this much, pay me that, boom. It ain't like that. It's you do gotta pay for your haircut.
Yeah.
Let's say that. But even more so, there is an interaction that takes place that is beyond just the quote unquote service of the haircut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all y'all know that.
10 years.
Just from us,
11.
the talking that we do is beyond what, like you were saying, it can't be transactional. You know what I'm saying? I can't just bring this, you give me that, then we both leave. I can't be like that.
I'm gonna sit here and shut up. No.
It gotta be I gotta get something.
Yeah.
Not even being selfish, but
You
I
got
gotta
to, though,
I gotta
bro.
be like, okay, that put me on a different. I wasn't thinking about that at first. Now I am type of thing.
Yeah.
It gotta do that. If it don't do that, it's like I can't. I can't.
They say you either build or destroy, bro.
Yeah, I gotta be building, bro.
If
I
we
have
ain't
to be
building, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That was
2025. Going into
Sir,
2025.
I'm losing all my weight.
Yes,
bro.
sir.
I'm gonna weigh 0 pounds.
You should have seen the look on his face.
Serious about that?
Hey, bro, I'm trying to go down to 730 though. Hey,
0
God gotta use this vessel.
You in the gym now? You in the gym?
No.
10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. What are our hopes? I don't want to say what's the resolution and none of that. But is there something that we trying to leave in 2024? What we want to see in 2025?
Man, physically, I do need to get in the gym. like just get in a rotation,
Yeah.
and be consistent with it. And then we were talking about working on being consistent with my scheduling and my planning and stuff, and not being, because I'm a last minute person, and so but I come in, I get
make it happen.
done.
Yeah, we can
I'll
make
make
it
it
happen.
happen, but it's last minute. So
Yeah.
working on that, and then spiritually, I want to put something on for. We'll talk about that outside, but like without the box, do something ministry wise. So just I want to challenge myself from physical part and then from the spiritual part. Like I don't know what that looks like, but do some form of a ministry in some way. The spiritual growth, man, I just need to dive deeper in my growth, like what I need to do every year. So that's what I just plan to do as far as spiritual growth.
I plan to be more just disciplined, and more so than just overall discipline. Just focusing on one thing, like not stretching myself too thin.
Yeah.
It's easy to get into.
Yeah,
bro.
It is.
just because there's like certain skills and abilities, and even certain opportunities that God has placed in front of me, and it's like, why not just give your all to this one thing and let that open more,
Open the door.
yeah, whatever doors that rather than trying to do all of this stuff. And you average at all of
Right.
it. Just be really good at. You only gotta get one thing right, man.
That's real.
So
That's real. That's real.
Well, I got a few things that I'm working on. It's one to be more schedule oriented. As far as myself, household, the church, have the entire calendar planned out for the year,
Yes,
type
sir.
stuff. We're gonna definitely lose some more weight because we're not gonna have the droopy chest thing going on. We're not gonna have that.
When you say droopy chest,
We're not gonna have it.
You got a beater on
Hey man, hey, I don't because
beater on that
I don't. I don't. I'm not at the beater stage yet, so I'm good. But I'm trying not to make sure that I don't lose everything. So I'm gonna make sure I take care of that. And my goal is to establish 2 streams of income
yes, sir.
come on.
this year.
I'm with that.
Yeah, I'm talking about one that's secured and then a second one that is secured, that no matter what's going on in my life, those 2 is coming in. So, and that's what is nothing big. Like Pastor Jordan said, I'm whittling down certain things in my life and only focusing on a couple of things, so that way I
Start
can.
stretching that meat, man.
Man,
Bring it
listen.
back together.
Yep. The discipline, you won't have to stretch your meat. You just stay the right amount. But I'm really focusing on discipline, and what I'm attempting to do this year is I'm attempting to read the Bible in its entirety from Revelations to Genesis.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You gonna read every word backwards, though?
No, I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna just start with the books, and I'm gonna read the books backwards. So,
That's fire. I love
I it came to me while I was in the Keys, and I want to do it.
Say it again, man. Where did it come to you?
While I was on vacation.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
So I want to do that just to give me a different perspective, because I don't ever want to feel like I know God.
That's good.
To a point. So that's what I'm on. And because I know I won't be the last person to talk, I want to say 2 things. Exceed Church.
Let's go.
Every Sunday at 12 o'clock, 1281 Ader Drive, Rantoul, Illinois, and Wednesdays at 7. We try to give God our best every time. And it's a place that you should want to be. And I'm also tasked with informing the people that the village of Rantoul is having a Martin Luther King Day celebration, January 19th at 2 o'clock. Yes, there it is. I had to pull it out the back of my memory banks at 2 o'clock, and it will be at the J.W. Ader Middle School. So I am on the committee, and it is going to be great. I'm not doing anything on the program, but closing the thing out with the prayer and the benediction. And anybody knows anything, the blessing is in the benediction. So if you just show up for the closing, we still appreciate you. But those are the two things that I had, and we love you.
I want to be more kind of like what Pastor Jordan said, more streamlined. Like just do a couple of things really well, and let that handle the business. And I also want to. That's the thing, bro. That's it. That's the whole thing. Is to.
We're getting older, man.
Yeah, it's to assess. I think I'm gonna do a lot of assessing.
Yeah.
In 2025 to be like, okay, again, it's like, so what fruit is coming from here? What fruit is here? Like assessing the fruit and getting a lot of that out the way, because again, I'm gonna make 43 in 2025.
That's a number.
So it's like by that point, I don't have time for stuff to be,
That's right.
Like I can't.
I agree, 100%.
We can't have no bogus fruit.
Right. If I'm gonna punch you, it's got to be one punch.
It got to be one punch is over. That's it. I don't have time.
You miss with your stick.
Yeah. I don't have
I
time.
got time to be messing around.
I don't got time.
I got one good punch in me, and that's it. And I'm going to the bag. And if I come out of the bag, don't make me go to the bag.
10:57. This is the last show of the year with you. What we just.
Man, Happy New Year.
Booyah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Something crazy coming in 2025. Pastor Matt said, so y'all better get ready.
Yes, sir.
I did say that.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
He
said
did.
it.
We getting OTB tattoos or what?
We gotta keep it live. We gotta do it live. We gotta keep it live.
Push everything you heard to the back and side. Turn your speakers up if you feel the vibe. We speaking out the box. Welcome to the tribe, and nothing is off limits cause the people need it.
We gotta keep it.
Come on, vibe with it. We gotta do it. Come on, vibe with it.
We gotta keep it.
Come on, vibe with it.
We gotta do it live.